Welcome back to the Home of Horror podcast.
Come with me.
And welcome back to the Home of Horror podcast. I'm your host, John. This is my co-host, Matt. Matt, say hi.
What is cracking?
We got a doozy for you, folks.
Always a doozy.
Always a doozy.
Always a fucking doozy.
We are on to episode 34.
34, holy shit.
Number 34. Before we get started, I just want to say if you're listening or watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Comment on this video. It's all for the algorithm, baby.
All for the algorithm.
Because we're going to give you a lasagna of a conversation right now.
Right.
We're giving you a hot lobster dinner of a conversation.
Why are you going to bring up lobster? You know how much I love lobster.
Oh, it's so good. And we're
Mayonnaise?
We're hard up for summer
We're
right now.
fucking ready for summer.
We're
Holy
hard
shit.
up for summer right now, bub.
She's been a cold winter.
Speaking of Bubba
Sawyer?
Bubba Sawyer?
Bubba Sawyer?
AKA Leatherface. Hey, we are back at you guys. We are coming with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. A Netflix original.
It scared the shit out of me. Scared the shit out of me with being a Netflix original. Your thoughts originally?
Yeah, because, well, first of all, I was super excited, but there's just something about a legacy character like this being purchased by something like a streaming service.
100% agree with you.
And I think you saw that a little bit, especially with like this. First of all, there's no plot in this movie.
No,
Like there is, but there's no character development. There's no big plot. It's just a very rapid
slasher.
movie. Yes,
Through and through.
through and through.
Loved. Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay.
Go ahead, brother. Actually, should we do a shot first?
Yeah, let's do a shot.
So,
Let's
hey,
make
thanks for tuning in, guys. Also, and everybody listening on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Buzzsprout, Google Play, all that stuff. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. You guys are our bread and butter.
Cheers to all you motherfuckers out
Cheers
there.
to you guys. Woo! Since this is a Texas movie,
Whoa,
and they get hot and spicy down there,
fucking spicy.
we got some hot and spicy tequila over here. It's called Ghost. Pretty much, is it Ghost Pepper tequila?
It's ghost pepper tequila. Yeah.
Yeah, and man, it is.
She got some kick to it.
Ooh.
Good in a margarita.
Yep, it is. All right.
First 15 minutes of the movie. I won't even say 15. 10 minutes of the movie. I looked at you and I said, because we just watched it together. Just came out.
Yeah.
Came over. We watched it.
I mean, this is a half hour after watching the movie here.
And I said, this isn't going to be one of them woke fucking movies, is it?
Right.
And you said, I don't know. I think it is, but
You never
these
know.
motherfuckers are all going to die.
Yeah.
And I was like, if that happens, I will be very, very happy. I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. I like it. I like it a lot. I can
Everybody
say
died, man.
Leatherface is back.
He is, man. And
Leatherface is back.
And he's always been, like I said, a legacy character. He's always been out on our Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
of slashers.
Yeah.
Man, this was just about Leatherface. This was visually about Leatherface. It was the story was about Leatherface.
100%.
I mean, dude, there literally is no other, like, there's no character development. They tried a little bit with, like, by the way, spoilers in this episode.
Yeah.
They tried to do a little bit of character development with the sister, right, being in the school shooting and
Right.
but like very little, man. I mean, we're talking. They made this. They wrote this script and they were like, "Hey, by the way, this is just a straight up slasher.
100%.
We're just gonna worry about no one really liking the characters, and we're just gonna."
I think they actually tried to make you dislike.
I think they
a
did. I
majority.
think you're right.
Like you said it. You like, I think they're doing it because I was like, I hate this fucking guy.
Right.
Hate this fucking girl. Like, I hated all of the main characters.
Yeah, it's true, dude.
And immediately, and you were like, I think they're just gonna kill them all off. And I was like, well, if they do that, it's great.
And that's exactly what they did, bro.
And I'll be honest, I don't need. Me and you are the types of guys who we love a story. We were just talking about it. I'd shown somebody The Witch, and they hated it. And I think it was because of a lot of dialogue, a lot of character development, a lot of backstory, all this stuff.
Right.
You don't need that. You don't always need it. I love that style of movie, and I know you do too.
Right.
And I know you love character-driven movies.
Yes.
You don't always need it.
No, especially
a movie like this. It's a hour and 23 minutes long.
Perfect.
Perfect time.
Perfect.
Perfect time.
Yes.
I mean, you can squeeze this in. I mean, you're not. You know what I mean? Did you fall into that fucking mic again?
Yeah, our
dude?
microphones. If you guys watched the last episode, same shit's going on. We gotta
God.
we gotta make some new holes for these motherfuckers. But yeah, especially for a slasher, man. Listen, this is what you know what people are gonna say about this movie. First of all, I think we can both agree that I liked this movie.
I agree.
I did.
I'm not ready to give my rating just yet. I'll wait till the end.
But I just had, and I know you hate this word, but I did. Me and you watching this, I had a lot of fun watching it, man. I did.
God, John.
But it's true. Like, we both sat there and we were like, what? That was crazy. This was crazy. That was crazy.
We were both smiling a lot.
It was just wicked cool to watch, man. And especially for a movie that's not going, like, if I go to see this in theaters, I might be like, I think sound wise it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But you're probably like, who puts an hour and 23-minute movie into a theater?
No, you're right.
It just never happens. You never see that anymore.
No.
Or ever really. But there was just something about this movie that I was like, as I was watching it and seeing people's reviews coming out, I just knew that people were going to look at this and be like, people are going to look at this too hardcore. They're going to be like, oh, there was no character development. There was no, the plot wasn't good. The acting was bad. And it's like,
there was definitely bad acting.
and you know what's getting
It's
woke?
fine.
You know what's getting woke to me now is that specific area. It's like all of a sudden, does everything need to be Oscar worthy now?
No.
You know what I mean? Especially with a slasher, it's like, listen, these writers and these directors said, we're going to make a movie that's full of gore, full of some of the most brutal kills, man.
Yeah, great. There were some really good kills in this movie.
And it was refreshing in the sense of like a slasher movie. Because isn't that what a slasher movie like is or used to be? It was to rebel against those artsy movies and rebel against movies that were going to win awards. That wasn't what it was about. It was on cheap budgets. Throw a bunch of blood at you. Crazy characters. Nudity. Now, we didn't get any nudity in this movie.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, we didn't get any of that. But you know what? We got a little bit in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but still not like a crap ton. It was more towards the beginning. Once Leatherface hit, it was like...
I know this will never compare to the original, blah, blah, blah.
No.
You can't compare the two.
No, definitely not.
But if I'm sitting down to watch a movie...
Right.
And I want some blood and guts...
Yeah.
I'm watching this one over the original.
Absolutely.
And I mean, the original was very low-key. I mean, in comparison...
Yeah, absolutely.
Could you imagine if this movie would have come out back then?
Oh man, dude!
People would have.
Crazy.
It would be hailed as one of the best horror movies of all time if this came out when the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre came.
Because I still think people look at the original and like, oh, it's a masterpiece, and it is in its own right. Though.
Fucking Franklin.
Franklin. But it is in the sense, like, the plot still wasn't absolutely amazing. The acting wasn't absolutely amazing.
No, it wasn't.
It was just one of those movies that hit at the right time, like Friday the 13th, like Halloween, like all those slasher movies hit at the right time, and people were like, whoa, this is crazy. This hasn't been done a lot before. Mm-hmm. Especially a chainsaw-wielding fucking maniac. You know what I mean?
And I loved that we got the spin at the end.
Absolutely, man.
And before we get too far, I want to keep talking about this, obviously, but in watching this movie, I know we both kind of were hesitant of Netflix taking over and doing this.
Right.
After seeing it, do you have and for anybody, I'd like them to comment on it. If anybody has
Oh,
any thoughts.
absolutely. Help the algorithm out.
I
baby.
mean, do you have more or less confidence in Netflix taking a movie like this and doing things? You know what I mean, for future franchises or future. I'll answer my own question. I thought they did a great job with this one.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them do that all the time.
No, definitely not. And there's still, it's few and far between of legacy characters like this that they can actually purchase the rights to.
Right.
Would I like to maybe see them do it with like Jason? I think they could do the same type of thing
Agreed.
with his character and like just be like, hey, we don't need all this character development. We don't need to go too deep with the plot. Let's just have Jason fucking kill everyone. Make it about him.
Right.
I think they could do that with Freddy. I don't think they could. Michael, they definitely can't.
No.
You need a story with
you
Michael.
couldn't even get.
No, you wouldn't even be able to purchase those rights.
Right.
But you know, it gives me a little bit of hope that they can put out, because they've always put out, I think, decent horror movies or horror, TV shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially with like Mike Flanagan with Haunting of Hill House.
Midnight Mass was very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've done their part on stuff like that. So it does give me a little bit of hope.
Yeah,
now,
they've been better than I've expected. They've overshot in some areas for sure.
Yeah, and I think they also looked at someone like, the character of Leatherface and just said, are we just going to try to pump this up and make it this big movie that everyone on Netflix is going to watch? No, they sat there and said, hey, we're going to make this for the fans who want to see a crazy fucking gory slasher movie. Now, having said that, I personally think a lot of people aren't going to like this movie. I think they're going to sit there and say, oh, there was no development. There was no anything. It was just a bunch. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to say that, man. I think a lot of people are going to trash this movie. I really do.
If you hadn't watched it with me, would you have thought I would have liked it?
Yes, because of the shock factor.
Yeah.
And the ending.
Yep.
I just think they gave you enough where you were like, dude, right from the beginning. I mean, let's talk about that first kill. Mm-hmm. I mean, holy shit. Dude, some of the kills in this movie I haven't seen in fucking years.
You break the fibia and tibia. Is this the fibia and tibia?
Dude, he just breaks the wrist bone. Snap.
You're so damn scientific, sir.
To the
wrist bone.
But like you snap it right there and then just put it into the dude's jug. Dude, great kill.
Loved it.
It surprised me too. It was just like out of the blue, let's get going. And that was another thing about this movie. It was like boom, 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 boom.
There weren't much waiting around.
No.
There was enough waiting around to hate the characters.
Right.
That we had been introduced
just
to.
a little bit enough to be like, but it was moving so quickly.
Yeah.
Like you said, the first 10 minutes of the movie, it's like, oh my God, we're going. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
Yep.
It was like a roller coaster ride, dude. I think that's what, and I don't think that was on accident. I think the writers and directors, like I said, looked at this and said, let's just fucking give them a show real quick.
How much character development was there that they cut out at the beginning, maybe?
Probably quite a bit.
Maybe 5 to 10 minutes
I
that they cut out.
I think they probably, if I would have had to guess, I think they went deeper with the sister, probably, and tried to make her storyline more of a thing.
Agreed.
But they probably just, if they did, they probably just decided, fuck it, let's throw it out. You know what? Let's get in there, give them a show, and let's get the fuck out of Dodge.
Right. And that was the right move.
That's exactly what they did, man. But I do think that a lot of people are going to trash this movie. I do, which is so funny to me because I loved it.
I really liked it. I don't want to say I loved it, but I really liked it.
It's a strong word, but I think they did Leatherface. Now, I think what I would have liked to see more in this movie is I think I would have a little bit more throwback to the original. I would have liked.
There was less of that than I expected.
Yeah, I was really hoping they would go back to the house maybe, or try to throw that in there somewhere. Let's go back to the door, the door shutting. I mean, that would have been a great ending if you drag that. If you drag the sister into the room and shut the door, movie ends. I mean, that would have been a really killer ending. And who knows, maybe they go for a second one and they bring that atmosphere into it. So I think the only thing lacking for me was, well, not the only thing, but the biggest thing lacking for me was maybe the locations.
Yeah, it was
The
all
setting,
shot in
all the
that,
setting.
yeah.
It was all in that weird town, which, I mean, I get, the Sawyer family leaves and relocates to this town or whatever. So I totally get that, but I would have liked to have seen maybe some throwback to the old house and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I think there was times in the beginning of the movie where we were like, what the fuck is going on? Because they didn't explain a
No,
lot of what was
they
going
really
on.
didn't.
It was kind of just coming at you, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm fine with it. I don't need a big backstory here. I don't need a half hour of build up for this
I
movie.
definitely didn't.
Because I hated every fucking character on it except for Leatherface.
And I think that's where they could have gone wrong. If they did build all these characters
except
up,
for the
I
cowboy.
Think,
I thought he was. I thought he was a good character. He was a true American.
True American.
True American.
I think they could have gone wrong with that if they did that. If they were like,
Agreed.
hey, let's try to build and give all these characters backstories and really go into the plot. I mean, like you said, all of a sudden, it seemed like they were just being like, hey, let's make sure whatever we do, we just throw all these people into this one secluded area, and so we can just murder all of them.
In the
Literally,
bus scene.
Literally.
Unbelievable.
Dude, it was awesome.
It was awesome. That was awesome.
I
mean, he literally killed every person on there except the two girls.
Everyone, dude.
Dude, you do this, you're gonna be canceled so quick. You're gonna be freaking canceled.
And the guy's just like, oh fuck.
And I love the comments because that's how it would be.
Yeah.
Somebody could be getting chopped up in real life. Dude, this is so fake.
Yeah, this looks fake, man.
It's like, oh my god.
Just aren't you having a bad day? Huh?
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it
but
was
leave those
great.
comments.
Yeah, leave those comments for the algorithm because we're giving you a pasta bake of a conversation right now. I'm getting hungry.
I'm getting a little hungry myself.
Shit, might have to do another tequila shot. Get that spiciness in me. Yeah, I really like that scene, dude. And the kills, bro. The kills were just off the charts.
Was your favorite kill
man.
the first one?
I think it was. Although I really liked
Him picking her up with the fucking chainsaw up in the
Which was great, Sally.
It had Sally. It had vibes of Halloween Kills
absolutely.
with the firefighter.
But
the
the biggest thing was I just didn't expect her to die.
I know we had
And
talked
especially
about
that quick. I thought it was going to be the showdown, and it wasn't, which was awesome.
Oh, I like it better.
Yeah.
We had talked about
Especially
that.
with the little bit of dialogue she gets where she's like, I'm the one that got away. And it's like, yeah, you got away for 50 years. Yeah, but now...
Yeah, you should have just run away. You should have gone
or
to
you
fucking...
should have just blew his head off when he was sitting on the bed.
Oh my god.
Which I think if this movie did go more dialogue heavy and more plot heavy, that scene would have been way longer. We would have got way more from her, and maybe they did and they cut it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much they cut out of this movie. I truly am.
But whatever they did cut out is fine with me. I'm cool
no,
with it. I don't even want to know.
100%. But I would like to know, like,
Yeah, if they did.
was this movie originally an hour and 45 minutes?
Right?
Because that's too long.
Yeah, exactly.
That's too long.
Yeah, I think the length plays a lot into why I liked the movie. It was just
Agreed.
quick. Like I said, it was get in and get out. It was like, hey, we're putting you on this ride where you're gonna go through some twists and turns, a loop-de-loop, and then you're done.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that that first kill was my favorite. I also really liked. I liked all of them.
I liked the end
girl
one
getting
where-
sawed in half in
in
the
the
bus.
bus. Yeah, when
I
her
loved.
body drops
I loved
out.
the mechanic. His head getting beaten in.
Yep, that might be my favorite
man,
scene.
was that good?
But for the most part, yes, all the kills were great. I mean, the bus ones, some of them are quick, but they're
Yeah.
still great. You see the guy walking around with a nub for an arm, like,
Yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah. All
and
the ones
then
on the
when you
bus
see
were
the
crazy.
blood rush in under the bathroom door.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they did a really good job of.
Oh, how about also? I don't want to skip over this when he cuts through the sewage pipe, and she just gets doused in shit, bro.
Oh yeah.
And then she gets on the bus, and I'm like, oh man, that girl would smell so fucking bad. I'm surprised they didn't throw like one line in there of one of them being like, oh, you smell like shit.
Oh my god.
Which would have been hilarious.
Oh, what do you think Leatherface eats?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
A lot
lots of
bad-
meat.
Lots. Definitely
Lots of meat. I would just picture a lot of pork and beans.
Yeah,
and,
I don't think it's any.
I mean,
a lot of pig. Yeah,
yeah, lots of pig.
a lot of bacon.
Yeah.
Maybe some relatives.
You know what would have been great if they had like some corn kernels or peanuts in
Right.
there, and like she had some stuck in her hair or something through the whole rest of the movie.
If there were any, oh God, if there were any veggies in there, it was definitely from his mom dying of heart disease and had to go straight vegetarian.
Kern.
I thought that was cool too. Just kind of throw that in there. I mean, obviously he's upset for a reason, right?
He's
So
definitely
you give him
upset
a
for a
little
reason.
bit of motive, not much,
Goes a long
because
way.
he doesn't need too much of a motive. I mean, he's
I mean, we were sitting there in one of the beginning scenes when his mother dies in the back of the sheriff van,
yeah,
and we're sitting there, and I'm like yelling at the TV. I'm like, just play dead.
right,
Just
right.
play dead. And then the fucking cop wakes up. I'm like, oh fuck,
Dude,
dude.
it's so good though.
Dude,
But that was an intense scene too.
It
Like,
was.
Just stop.
Right.
Don't move. And he comes in the window and she kind of
she did the right thing.
Right. It
She
just
did the right
didn't work.
thing. And then she tried to fucking crawl out.
once he starts, beating him with the oxygen tank.
Another great scene was when the sister is under the bed and then she sneaks out and she's like trying to slide down the rail. At that point, just run.
Yeah, absolutely. But he was just there.
But like she's like ninja hops down onto the steps and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that was quiet. And then she just looks up and you can't out ninja a ninja. And that
No.
motherfucker
he
is
was
a
just
ninja.
right there, just stealth mode, dude. And he throws like the sledgehammer and it hits her and just
Puts her right
takes
through the
her
fucking
out,
floor.
dude.
Great.
Oh my
That was a
God.
great. There was a lot of good moments in this
Yeah,
movie.
there really was.
I,
Man.
I was overall very impressed.
They definitely just took all their money and threw it into and the you could tell obviously a little bit they have like a little special effects with like the cutting in half of the body or
right.
heads get the end scene where she gets her head cut off. But I mean, it looks smooth.
I thought it was smooth. They didn't overdo it.
No,
Yeah.
it just looks so smooth. And it wasn't a close up of anything. So it was just like, and even when they cut the girl in half on the bus, they do it so like he's cutting through and then they pan the camera to the outside of the
Right.
bus. It looked really good, man. Everything looked really clean. I was really, really happy with all the whatever special effects they used and then all the practical effects, especially like when Sally finds his mom propped up in the sunflower field.
Yeah.
And her face is just gone. And I mean,
Yeah.
the practical effect looked
and
amazing.
what a scene that was when you see him
For a while, too. Just
hacking her face
sawing,
off, man. And like, great scene.
Right.
Shock factor,
It
right
was-
from jump.
It was shocking because, remember, for me, I looked at you and I was like, that's got to be the guard in the back that
Yeah.
got killed through the jugular, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way that's his mom. And you're like, no, dude, that's his mom.
Right. I was like,
he's
the guard
straight
was
up
still
like,
back.
he's straight up like
Cutting
remembering
her face. Yeah.
his mom by fucking putting her face on. Which was great because I mean that's kind of a throwback to the original when he wears the pretty lady
Absolutely.
face. And
Yeah.
you even see him in his room, he's putting the blush makeup on or whatever.
And I truly feel like that brush must have had some significance because they did pan in
Yeah.
on it a couple times. I don't know if anybody else
when she
noticed
finds
that.
the deed.
Yes.
Right. I can't remember if he brushes his hair when
Yeah.
he puts on the lady clothes
And it
in
looks
the first
old.
one.
It's like a silver
Yeah,
brush.
I
So
think-
I'm
I
like, is
think
there some
maybe
significance to that? I'm
was-
not sure.
At the very least, it was like a family heirloom because they kept the deed in there as well.
Right.
So like there was something to that.
Jump to the end. Leatherface shot up, hit in the face with a chainsaw. Girl power. Girls win. Leatherface is dead. Spoiler alert.
Dead
Riding off into the sunset.
in water. he
Put
goes
autopilot on your Tesla or whatever they're driving.
down. Yeah, seriously, it's like a
Put
Kia
that
or
sunroof
something.
out
Yeah.
and take off, ladies. Girl power.
Yeah.
Not so
much.
fast.
No.
Not so fast.
Not so fast. And it was great too because they put the minute they hit the sunroof, you're like, oh,
we both
yeah.
looked at each other like he's still
Yeah,
alive.
he's definitely still alive. He's coming back, and then he does. Then they shock you by coming through the side window,
Oh, yeah.
pulling her out. She
Yeah.
goes up, and obviously that's a throwback to when Sally's in the back of the truck.
Right. They've kind of brought it up with the times. Nobody had to
Right.
come get her, but it was the autopilot taking her away.
But he even did that thing at the end before he started swinging, which was like a new thing that I think is going to go down in history, bro, with Leatherface. And that's when he saws her head off, and he like gets on his tippy toes and like holds her head up, and he's like just like running with it like
Right.
not running, but he's just like tiptoeing forward with her head up in the air, and then he
So
drops
good.
it and starts swinging the
I mean,
the
he cut some
saw
heads
around.
off. He threw a head. He threw the bus driver's head.
Dude, seriously, fucking crazy, man.
It was good.
Dude, it was, man.
was
It was quick. It was to the point. It was like, hey, we're just gonna murder everyone. Leatherface wins.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Oh man,
I'm gonna go 7-1.
yeah, I'm gonna.
That's the highest ranking I've had in a very
and
long time.
I'm gonna have to, and I'm definitely gonna like it's another watch for me for
Oh,
sure.
yes, 100%.
Like, I can't
I
wait
will
to
watch
watch
this
that
again.
again. I think that's 7-1.
I know.
That's nice, man. Yeah.
I'm like sixes. If I like something, I'm like 6'9".
Yeah.
I don't like to go over, but I thought this one, execution, shock factor, short and sweet.
Yeah.
You bring back Leatherface. Leatherface comes back with a vengeance,
He does,
and he wins.
and he's just brutal, man.
And he kills the woke narrative.
Very good, very good. Same chainsaw as well.
Yeah, loved it.
Like that baby still purrs.
And oh my god,
That baby still purrs, baby.
she's sharp. That fucker is sharp.
He's changed the chain a few times for sure. He keeps that thing going. He oils it up. He does his thing. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go 7 on this.
Ooh, that is shocking to me. That's
Yeah,
a
that might
rookie
be the-
score,
That
round
might
number.
be the first time though that I've gone lower than you.
I think it is.
Because I'd like to. The only reason I say 7 is because I'm still trying to go with like what did I give *Malignant*? Like 7.5 or 7.9?
Yeah, you went real high on Miller.
But then what did I get? Then there was another one. Was it Candyman? After that?
Oh, Candyman was terrible for me. I want to say that was in the 5 range for me.
Yeah, you didn't score that very well. No,
No.
it was like 6 maybe though.
Maybe 6.2.
But still, that's still pretty good for you.
Oh, another woke movie, like though, like
Yeah, I'm gonna
and,
go.
and this one didn't go the woke route, and I love that.
No, yeah, I'm gonna go 7. I'm gonna go 7. Nice round number for me.
Rookie score.
I'm cool with it.
Portnoy would not appreciate.
He
that.
wouldn't. He wouldn't. But good thing he's scoring pizza. Yeah, I think overall, man, I just like this movie. It's a guaranteed another watch for me.
Yeah. Will you buy this one?
Yeah, if it comes out, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
they'll definitely put it out.
I hope they do, man.
They definitely
because
will.
It's yeah, that's definitely one I'd like to own. Maybe even some other merch for me. Fright Rags just put out a new T-shirt that's awesome. Cavity Colors just put out a new T-shirt in their merch store that's awesome.
Just Leatherface standing in the sunflower
If they put
field.
and I tell you this, if they put that mask out, I'm getting that mask for sure.
Yeah, that they did a good job with the mask.
Yeah, it just looked good, man. Very simple. It didn't have even any like ties on it. It's just like the earlobes where her ears were. He just kind of threw it over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fucking weird.
Yeah, good movie, man. Good
I thought it
movie.
was good. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah,
For me to give this over a 7 ranking,
Right.
I feel like
that's pretty solid.
I
Dude.
felt good about this movie.
Yeah,
I felt
yeah.
good about it. I will definitely watch it again, and if it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, whatever, I think I'll definitely buy it.
Yeah, I got to pair it with the original too for sure because it's that legacy movie, right? It's like the requel that they did
Right.
right. It wasn't, obviously there's a bunch in between that.
Yeah.
Some of them are okay. Some of them suck ass.
Some of them, most of them are not great. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Home of Horror podcast, episode 34. We got some other episodes coming up. Hopefully we do have some more guests coming, actually. A couple more, so we'll try to get in the studio for those here as soon as we can. In other news, we have finished our screenplay for our new movie project, Devils Are We. 47 pages, 11,000 words. We put a lot of work into this one. We film our first scene here coming up. We don't know exactly when, but here pretty soon. And then the rest of it, we start filming this summer. So we're pretty amped on that.
Yeah.
If you guys want to, on Instagram or YouTube, you can actually find the Indiegogo. If you want to donate, you can. We're not really pushing for people to donate. If you want to, everything's appreciated. But we're making this movie either way. So for the people who have donated, we thank you very much. We're working closely with some people in the community, in the horror community that are helping out.
Oh my God, things are
they're coming together.
Yeah,
and it's been really
great.
cool. So yeah, I think that's about it, man. Take us out.
May the power of Christ compel you.
Thank you guys very much for joining us.
Later.
Later. Home of horror, the Home of Horror podcast. Home of horror, the Home of Horror podcast. Horror podcast. So that's your third Stephen King?
Don't start with me, dude.
I bet they spent less than $50,000 on that movie.
$252,000.
Oh wow, really? Home of